The showdown between Alexey Navalny and the Kremlin has attracted the world's attention.
Overseas, and a major development involving the Kremlin's fiercest critic.
After being poisoned last summer, the opposition leader returned to Russia to be immediately jailed. Navalny is challenging Vladimir Putin's system of rule, but how much of a threat does he really pose to Putin's control?
Are you afraid that they might try and kill you?
Я разумный человек, который живет в реальной жизни и отдает себе отчет, что такое Россия, что такое Путин. Но если мой в целом выбор был сделан за то, чтобы бороться, я продолжаю свою борьбу и стараюсь поменьше думать о каких-то опасностях, потому что если ты будешь слишком много об этом думать, то ты не сможешь работать.
Владимир Владимирович Путин.
For 2 decades, Vladimir Putin has built a system of control, shrinking the space for opposition. Part of the system is simply repression. Opponents are often harassed. Some end up behind bars, and sometimes even murdered. Recently, though, the Kremlin is relying more and more on repression. Draconian new laws potentially criminalize criticism. Anyone protesting is likely to face arrests, fines, a month in jail. These tools have been applied like never before to smother the protests that followed Navalny's detention.
But this just shows the regime's resolve to put the price tag very high up front for participating in the protest movement. And it seems that the tactics has worked. After 3 weeks of protest, Team Navalny has called them off.
A second pillar of Putin's control is propaganda.
Vladimir Vladimirovich!
Dmitry Belousov says he worked in a team at a pro-Kremlin television channel that produced films intended to discredit opposition activists, including Navalny. Often they would use video from surveillance he said was provided by Russia's security services.
It was not a secret in the team. We know exactly that this materials provided by FSB.
Belousov said he was fired after refusing to smear one activist. He's now seeking asylum in Europe.
It's for terror because sometimes they're using these films for show that they can look for everyone, they can touch everyone, we can arrest everyone, we can find about you everything, and you have to be scared if you go in political activities in Russia.
But the Kremlin, though, doesn't just keep control by crushing its opponents. It also controls who its opposition is.
There is an understanding that you need to have some political forces decorated as an opposition in the parliament and present the population with a choice, which is fake.
Russia nominally is a parliamentary democracy, with several parties competing for power. But in reality, the parties are heavily controlled.
The parliamentary parties run a lot of their business essentially through the presidential administration. Key candidates, people at the top of the list, right, have to get vetted through the presidential administration. Their funding relies on the acquiescence of the presidential administration, right? So their ability to actually challenge the Kremlin is very limited.
Navalny is trying to undercut these pillars of the Kremlin's control. His most effective weapon has been investigations, alleging to reveal corruption among Putin and his allies.
Все говорили, что снять это невозможно. Ну, мы и сами так думали, а потом взяли и попробовали. Представляем вам самый секретный дворец в России. Дворец Путина под Геленджиком.
Navalny's most recent investigation claimed to unveil a vast palace built secretly by Putin on the Black Sea. It's now been watched over 100 million times on YouTube.
Мы будем жить нормально, только когда перестанем терпеть чиновников, которые воруют.
The decision that Navalny is now too big a risk to tolerate suggests a sense of insecurity in the Kremlin, because support for Putin and the authorities generally has been eroding. Nikolai Korolyov was a police officer in a K9 unit for 13 years. In January, he quit, he said in disgust at the direction of Russia's police.
Раньше престиж службы был Ты идешь, ты гордишься своей формой. Я гордился своей формой когда-то. Но в один прекрасный момент я не смог. Я смотрел на свою форму с отвращением.
After deciding to leave, he refused to attend the Navalny protest that police broke up.
Я не хотел идти выполнять приказ, бить кого-то, там, избыточную силу применять. И это обычные люди, которых накипело в душе, которые там хотят выразить какую-то свою мирную позицию. И если они идут по улице, на мой взгляд, я не должен их задерживать, хватать. А мне говорят, хватай.
But Korolev is an exception. The reality is the system of control developed under Putin remains very strong. Support for Putin is still high, and most Russians are apathetic about politics.
What we're not seeing is enough people coming out to actually change the nature of politics in Russia, right? So there's nothing that is sending a signal to the Kremlin or to the elite that they can't control the streets, right? They still believe that they can.
Independent polling shows around 20% of Russians approve of Navalny's activities, but polls show the number who disapprove has risen since his jailing, and most Russians don't even believe the Kremlin poisoned him.
But we never expected and we never thought that there could be just like one event to overthrow Putin. This was never our plan. We always thought that we have like a long-term strategy to build up our organization, to attract more supporters. But this is a long road that could take many years.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.